In this lesson, we're going to look at adding one more type of display to our upcoming events view, an RSS feed. It is a good idea to create a feed for any content that you might want available for syndication by a third party. First, let's take a look at the two displays that we have on our site for the events feed. I'm going to scroll down a little bit here on the home page. We have this block displaying upcoming events. You'll notice that the very last thing in the block is a More link. This More link will take us to the upcoming events page. And if we scroll down here, we'll see all of our events. And the very last item is just the last event. So let's scroll back up and use the quick edit link that comes up to edit our view. I'm going to go ahead and add a new display, and the type of display that I want to add is feed. First of all, let's point out that there is a very obvious red border around feed. This means that there is some kind of an error with this display, and the display itself, perhaps even the entire view, won't work until this error is fixed. If I scroll down, I will find out what that error is. I have a big message here that says display feed uses a path, but the path is undefined. Because of this, the preview area is not working at all. Let's go ahead and adjust the settings for this display, and in the course of doing so, we will also fix the path. I'm going to leave the display name as feed because I don't intend to have more than one feed here, but I'm going to change the title. Feeds are usually intended for third parties, not for your site itself, so it's useful to have your branding in the title itself. So we'll say upcoming events for, and then add for Tasty Cakes for All. I don't want this title change to affect all displays. I only want it to change the feed display itself. So I need to make sure that before I click Apply All Displays, I change it to Override. Now my button says Apply this display, and that's what I want. Notice that the title now displays in italics, letting me know visually that it is overridden, and not showing what the default shows on the other displays. Under Format, unless you are very, very comfortable with RSS feeds, leave the settings as they are. This will help you have a nicely functioning feed. Also, for a feed, it's typically not a good idea to include sticky at top of lists in the sort criteria. The sort should be purely a list of the content in the order that the events will take place, or in some cases, in the order in which they've been posted with the newest posting first. For the purposes of this feed, I'm simply going to remove sticky at top of lists. I'm going to do that by clicking Rearrange, overriding this display so that I don't accidentally remove this criteria from my defaults, remove sticky, and then apply to this display. I'm double checking now to make sure that the sort criteria header here is italicized and indicating that it's overridden. Now I need to set a path for my feed. This will help get rid of that error message, and it will also give me a URL that I can give to third-party recipients. I'm going to go up to Feed Settings and click on Path. It's always very nice to make sure that your path indicates what the content really is, and it's also nice to include rss.xml or feed at the end. Notice that the help text here actually indicates this, because then the recipient is very clear on what they're receiving. So the path I'm going to give here is events rss.xml. This is a very helpful URL that tells the third party what they're going to be getting. Then I'll go ahead and apply this. Notice that the red border around the word feed in the display list is now gone. If I scroll down, I still have the error message. This is actually a bug in the version of Drupal that we're using right now, which is a beta. By the time you're using Drupal 8, this bug will probably be fixed, and the preview would work at this point. In this current situation, however, we're going to wait to look at the preview until we save this view. The other things that I want to change here, let me scroll back up to the configuration, are in the pager area. I do want to display a specified number of items because a pager doesn't really work in a feed environment. But rather than 10, perhaps I want something more like 20. So I'm going to go ahead and check that. And I'm going to change this to 20. Notice that this is specific to this display and will not affect the other displays. So there's no option to override at this point. I also want to go back up to the feed settings and make one more change up there. Under Path, you'll see Attach To, and it currently says None. We're going to click on None, and I'm going to attach this feed to all three displays: Master, Block, and Upcoming Page. This way it'll be easy for somebody to find the feed when they're looking at one of these other displays if they are looking to syndicate this content. It helps me to have my content in as many places as possible because that will ultimately drive traffic to my resources. And now I'll go ahead and click Apply. Since I'm still getting the error message here, display feed uses a path, and I'm not able to actually preview this feed, I'm going to go ahead and save this view. Now it tells me that my view has been updated, and I'm looking at the upcoming events page. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom, and we'll see something new here, which is this little RSS feed icon. This allows a user to quickly subscribe to that feed if they want to. If we go back to the home page and then scroll down a little bit, we'll also see that RSS icon at the bottom of the upcoming events block. Let's actually take a quick look at how this particular RSS feed looks by going back to editing the view. I'm going to click on the feed display here, and now my error message will be gone because it will see that the path exists. I'll scroll down, and I'll be able to preview the RSS feed. It is meant to display in markup because this is what RSS readers are going to want to see. So this is exactly what you want to see. I can also take a look at this feed in another window. So let's open up a new tab here and go to the feed itself. Again, what we're seeing is the markup. Some browsers will render RSS quite nicely, and this is Chrome, which simply renders the markup. But this is exactly what we want to see.